apparently the band name can be pronounced in several different ways, but the most approved version is which is obviously some kind of articulation of the 3 exclamation marks. They are a band from Sacramento, California. They were formed in 1996 and they're still going. They've had a reasonable turnover of members and they have produced 9 albums so far. Hi, my name's Dan. So Louden Up Now is the second album from and this is my first encounter with them as a band. I had no idea what to expect. When I had my first listen yesterday and I've had my second listen today after I've looked up some information about them. I would describe this as being kind of disco / funk / dance. It's definitely stuff that is intended for dancing to. I enjoyed it. There's some nice grooves in it with the drum patterns. There's some really nice funky bass playing, which I really enjoyed. There's some ornamentation and textures obviously in there, so there's quite a lot of stuff going on musically. There's often other percussive things going on as well as the drums. And it's good. It has more of a kind of British or European feel than I might expect from an American band, but in a good way. They quote orchestral maneuvers in the dark and Depeche Mode as influences. I can hear things like New Order and Yellow, a band from Switzerland, Daft Punk from France. Kind of similar sensibility to these things. One interesting thing about it is I found that they tend to have some fairly long tracks, and they move between feels in the track so that it kind of moves on from one section to another, but with overlaps with particular things like maybe a repeated vocal thing going on, or a repeated guitar bit, whilst the drum pattern changes or the feel changes. So a bit like the way tracks are often mixed together into a set by a DJ, which was presumably an obvious attempt to, I would say more than attempt, successful thing of doing, replicating that kind of DJing feel to it. There is some singing. The vocals are not hugely in tune. It works. They make it work for them, which is pretty good. I guess you kind of have to go one extreme or the other in terms of vocals. You either want somebody doing really good vocals or having somebody that's kind of got more of a punk, I can't sing very well kind of feel to it. But it works. The lyrics are, as you might expect for this sort of thing, not particularly inspirational. They're occasionally interesting. There's a lot of repetition going on. Again, that's a feature of it being dance music, really. It's often quite sweary. This seems to be one of their defining features, is that they really embrace the bad language quite a bit. So be aware of that. The one exception track to pretty much all of this is Space Island, which was probably my least liked track on the album, because the groove wasn't as good as the grooves on the other tracks. I guess it's in there for contrast and for variety, and it works for that, but I enjoyed the other stuff better. But overall, I really quite enjoyed this album. It was good. And as always, I would love to hear what you think of the album or of the review. Always up for comments, agreeing with me, disagreeing with me, it's all good. So please use the comments box for that. And that's it from me for now.
Hey, 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 hey. Am I making any sense at all? Does anyone here speak English? Cause everybody's acting like I'm crazy. Hey, 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 hey. Am I making any sense at all? Is this thing